Thanks for being on our show.
Thank you so much, Andre. Thank you.
So let's just jump right in. Just give the listeners a little bit of your background, a little bit of your real estate background, personal background, whatever you'd like to share.
Well, it started back in 1992, so just yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was 28 years old at the time and had no idea how much I loved real estate, but real estate became the drug of choice for me. Prior to real estate, I was in retail sales, and I managed a sports shop, which I kind of really got the love for helping people and understanding, the technical side of expensive sports equipment to help them, sort through what was the best product or the best ski or the best water ski or whatever it was for them. So that's where I started. And I was there for about 7 years in that office. It was a small boutique office. I actually became one of the owners later in that 7 years. And then I realized how challenging and difficult being an owner broker was. And I got tired of working my butt off to keep the lights on for all the lazy agents in the office. So I said, I'm going to sell this thing and become a team lead. So I moved the entire brokerage over to the RE/MAX office down the street and became a team lead back in the early 2000s. And that's where I really found my way. My leadership skills, of course, had to grow, and they did grow. I started seeing how agents were, putting out, 200, 300, 400, 500 transactions and said, if they can do it, why can't I? And so, monkey see, monkey do, or R&D, rip off and duplicate. I just kept building the team, and we had years where we were selling, north of 400 homes, but probably average close to 250, 275 homes a year over the last 20 years. And back in 2017, 2018, I started being a bit disillusioned by this thing called a real estate license. I kept telling myself, Randy, your business, my business, the business. I always kept talking about this thing, the business. And then one day I woke up and I looked in the mirror and I said, you're telling yourself a lie, Randy. You don't have a business. A true business would mean that you could literally leave it for a day, a week, 10 days, a month, a year, and come back, and it would still be actually functioning, working, if you had the right people, the right systems in place, and actually maybe even making more money than the day that you left. But the reality of real estate is it's relational. And I realized at that moment that I did not have a business. I had a career no different than a pro athlete. The day that they can't run fast enough, shoot the ball well enough, hit the puck hard enough to score a goal, is the day that they get sent out to pasture, so to speak. And I realized I have to find a way out of this thing called a career and make more of a business out of it. And so that was back in 2017, 2018. I was introduced to EXP in the summer of 2018. And in 20 minutes, I said, oh my goodness, this is what I've been looking for, at that time, 27 years.
Wow.
And so it was December 1st that I crossed over to EXP with my team. And I wish I would have found EXP years and years earlier, but it's just been a fabulous ride since that December 1st of 2018 here at EXP.
Well, that's awesome. So only 20 minutes it took you. Boy, a lot of people, it takes some weeks and months and years sometimes, but you really saw it pretty quickly.
Well, I saw it really quickly. I didn't make that decision in the moment. You've got your poker face on and this and that. But in 20 minutes, I went, because I tried to create a version of EXP within my own office, my own team office, where I was giving shares out to agents that were willing to give me money. Here's the beautiful thing about EXP. It was $199 to have this opportunity. Yet I was saying to my agents, give me $50,000, you can have 10% of the company and 10% of the profit or loss, depending what it was. And I really struggled to get that from agents, but I saw the value in having them have the piece of ownership, because ownership changes everything.
Right.
Everything changes when you give somebody the opportunity for ownership. And especially when you give ownership to what I call the little people. The realtor has always been kind of the small piece of the big puzzle. And we've just been thousands and thousands of the small piece, but we're the most important pieces of this thing called the brokerage.
Right.
And it took Glenn Sanford to tell the world that the agent is the most important piece of the brokerage. And if you're the most important piece, you should have an ownership stake.
Right.
And that's what Glenn has given every one of us at EXP. And every agent that isn't at EXP has that same opportunity, whether you've been, licensed for a day, a decade, or 3 decades like myself. We all have the same ownership opportunity. Really remarkable.
Yeah, it's been an amazing ride. That's for sure. I thank the Lord every day for all my blessings, and also Mr. Glenn Sanford for coming up with the model, because it's been life-changing as well. I just want to take a second. Hey, thanks for our listeners for jumping on today. Rick and Randy, Bob, Cindy, Chinky, any of you guys and girls would like to have any questions for Randy, just put them in the comment sections there, and we'll go ahead and ask them, and send this out to your Facebook friends, etc., so we get the word out. So Randy, how has you were a broker owner yourself and got kind of sick of that part of your life probably, and went and became a team, you said, for a while. So that's kind of a big deal. And then now you're at EXP. Kind of share some of the things that have really been a game changer for you, with wearing all these different hats.
Well, I still manage and run a team. So since joining EXP, let's start there. So in 2018, December 2018, I joined EXP. And at that point, I only had 2 agents on my team. And of course, there's always this, well, are you coming or not coming? And I was so passionate about bringing them, because they're just great agents. The one agent at that point had been with me for 10 plus years. And the other was a young agent, just really, hitting it out of the park. His first year, with his work ethic and my help, we helped him get to 44 sales, 44 M's in his first year as a rookie. And so Jordan was just a fabulous agent. So I wanted to make sure that I brought them. But at the end, I was so convinced that EXP was the path to not only financial freedom, but just pure joy. After being 27 years in the business, I was willing to move without them. But of course, they came with me. And the thing that struck me so quickly with EXP was how the ownership model changes everything. See, prior to that, I was at RE/MAX. Loved the company. It was just amazing for me. And without RE/MAX, I wouldn't have learned how to sell 250 to 400 homes a year, because I was playing in a very big pool with some really big players that I could then, so to speak, have somebody to gauge my ability and my game. But the challenge that I had at RE/MAX was keeping agents. So I would bring an agent on, and they would be with me for 1-2 years. They would come, learn, glean, leave. Come, learn, glean, leave. And I just couldn't break that cycle. And so that was just so frustrating. In fact, that's what really was driving me to make a decision in 2018. I just had another 2 agents come over a 2-year span, help them get into that 40, 50 deal a year range. And then they said, hey, thanks, Rand. See ya. And I was just so frustrated. So when Phil Hahn, my sponsor, introduced EXP to me, by the way, Phil was my referral partner from another city, introduced EXP to me, I was so open. I was just like, come on, like, bring it on.
Right.
And it was an easy decision. But the thing that was so life-changing and so interesting when I moved to EXP was that this ownership model actually changed the mindset of my team agents. They no longer wanted to just come, learn, glean, leave. They came and they realized the value of the ownership. And then, of course, our EXP team model is so well structured for building team with a half cap, quarter cap, all that. And so, since joining EXP, I've not had this problem where agents wanted to come, learn, glean, leave. Just a significant different way in the mindset of the actual team agent has changed because of EXP's model and how we treat every agent like they're an owner. So I'm still, of course, doing that. However, what I've done is I've moved away from production. I was a heavy production agent. Personally, I was selling, between 100 and 150 homes per year myself, plus then leading the team. So it was, what I'd always do is, so if my team said they're going to sell, X, then I personally said, I guess I got to sell X too. And so I was a very driven, busy agent. And what EXP has allowed me to do is continue to pull back from transactional real estate and actually start introducing some of my team agents into higher leadership roles on the team. And so now I'm almost wound out of the transactional production side of the thing, where I'm just looking to level up agents, looking for great talent around the world that sees the value in our EXP model.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I had the same challenge when I had my independent brokerage and team in New York. My partner, you get those people and you get them from nothing. You grow them over the years and get them to 2-3 transactions per month, and now they're like, they don't need you and they're going to start their own thing, and they're entrepreneurial minded like we are. Want to start their own companies, so you can't blame them for it. But yeah, it does. We all struggle with that. But because of the model, the EXP model, that changes that forever, because you want them to get bigger than you. You want to see them start their own team and their own group. Mm-hmm. And because of the financial alignment, when they are ready to get out of the nest, so to speak, you're still financially aligned, and it doesn't break that relationship like it did in every other model.
Yes, so true, so true.
So yeah, that's a game changer for all of us. So yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Personally, now your roles have changed a little bit. What does that mean for you, time wise, financially wise? How's that changed Randy's life?
Well, this is a question I often ask agents. I said, has your brokerage changed your life? Simple question. Has your brokerage, the brokerage you've been at for the last, 1 year, 10 years, 30 years, did it change your life? And a lot of the people just look at you like, realtors look at you, well, changed my life. Well, real estate changed my life. No, I'm not talking about real estate. I'm talking about the brokerage. And most can't answer that question. Most don't know how to answer that question. But at EXP, I think when you ask, anybody that's leaned into the EXP model says, oh my goodness, this brokerage has changed my life. In fact, I often do testimonials that with other agents. How has EXP changed your life? And for me, it's changed my life significantly. First of all, I have a lot more of time. The time that I now have versus time chasing all of those deals, and whether it be 9 o'clock at night, or on a Saturday or on a Sunday, or all 7 days of the week. Today I have much more control of my time. I know that financially I'm creating something so much bigger with all the the other income streams that we have at EXP. And so I'm actually now have a business that will continue to virtually supply my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, a financial freedom, something that I've really taken hold of, which is also the podcast that I run, which is the Return on Life podcast. I now have an ROL. I chased the ROI for like 30 years. And everything was about, what's the ROI on this? What's the ROI on this? What's the ROI on my time? What's the ROI on this investment?
Right.
And so today I've reversed that and said, what's the ROL? what's the return on life with this? And the return on life that I've received since, moving my license to EXP has been significant. And so today my life is just so much better. I have, so much more time with my family, my children. I'm present. See, before I was so busy, I couldn't be present with people. I actually couldn't slow down to be present. That was just like, too many things. I would be chased by what I call the task monster. Every morning I wake up, oh my goodness, the task monster is waiting for me, like I got to get through all of this today, look out, get out of my way. I got to get this done, And so today I'm a different man, actually. I'm a changed man in so many ways because of EXP.
That's phenomenal. I hear you loud and clear, and I found the same things that most people can't say that their real estate company or their brokerage or wherever they're at has changed their life, but it's a common thread when you hear about EXP stories that it's been life changing. So I'm glad that you brought that up. What big surprises were there being a cloud-based company? Were there certain things that were better than you expected, or was there any big surprises when you joined EXP?
Well, big surprises when I joined EXP. The collaboration side of this brokerage is just phenomenal. I thought I was a collaborative agent before I joined EXP. I was always the agent that wanted to be the best agent in every deal, which served me so well because people wanted to do deals with me. Other agents wanted to do deals with me versus other agents. But I didn't realize how collaborative I could be or we could be as a brokerage. And the willingness and the openness to just, pour out everything that, other top producing agents have done. I mean, it's one thing for a non-producing agent to say, I'll help you, because, they just don't have a lot of stuff going on. But top producing, busy agents just, throwing themselves at you, say, how can I help you? What resources do you need that I've built, created, made? They're here, just ask. And so that was probably one of the biggest surprises to me. And then again, all of our core values, from fun to sustainability to innovation, like all of our core values have just been what I call played out in technicolor. That's been amazing for me. And then, of course, even how accessible our leaders are. Glenn has been so accessible to me so many times. He's been part of events that I run here. I run an event in the Vancouver marketplace every quarter called Realtor Collective. I would have never done this without being EXP, but Realtor Collective is where I just bring agents from all different brokerages and say, please come and share your best stuff on my stage. So I just edify them and get them on stage, whether they're Remax, Oakwyn, Coldwell Bank, or whatever brokerage. I don't care. Just come and share your best stuff and be collaborative. And of course, Glenn has come and been present in a couple of my events as well. Like the CEO, would David Liniger, would he ever come to one of my events that I host in my small town? No. And so having the best of the best so accessible has just been really awe-inspiring and just a super big surprise for me. Just so many, but I know you probably have more questions, but those are just a couple that come to my mind.
Those are good. Those are really good. I had the same. I haven't reached out to Glenn but once. I mean, I've seen him at the event and stuff, but never really asked him for anything. But a couple of days before Christmas, I messaged him on a workplace because I had a big Keller Williams agent, is a friend of mine with about 80 agents. I just want to introduce him to Glenn, and I messaged him on a workplace. And the next morning, he said, yeah, I can jump on a Zoom at 11 o'clock today or 11 o'clock tomorrow. And I couldn't get my friend on the Zoom quick enough, so I got him on the next day. We had a 45-minute Zoom with my friend, and the owner of the company with 88,000 agents. So, and a few days before Christmas, who does that, right? But that's just kind of a normal thing.
This is the really cool thing, Andre, about EXP. You just think of big companies, and they have this incredible hierarchy. There's big boss up top, and then there's another big boss below that, and another big boss, and it's just this group of people that don't do anything. They're just busy doing nothing. And then here's the reality of it: it's the little people that have to pay for all those people's lifestyle.
Right.
And here at EXP, we have a linear leadership. It's linear. I'm included in that linear leadership. You're included in that linear leadership. This is the value of EXP. And when I share our model with business owners outside of real estate, and I've got friends with some massive, productive and awesome businesses, and I share our business model with them, they go, "Oh my goodness, how do I build that into my business?"
Wow.
Like this is a business model that's going to reshape a lot of businesses, a lot of traditional old-fashioned businesses. I'm not talking just real estate. I'm talking across the board, because what we're creating and what we're doing is like history-making stuff.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. That's for sure. I couldn't agree with you more, Randy. One question I'd like to ask, being that you're an independent broker owner yourself, what would you say to another independent broker like yourself that maybe they are happy, they are comfortable. You were looking for a change, but maybe they are comfortable, things are doing okay, and they're not really open. What do you say to a broker owner like that?
Well, I think it's pretty simple. Do you want to be hyper local, which means you're going to grow at in fact, I just helped another broker in this situation, and I get this: he had 70% market share in his market.
Wow.
Like, think about that, 70% market share. And I said, "Wow, that's awesome. How many agents did you grow by last year?" He says, "Oh, we don't grow. We're in a small community, and we might get 1 to 3 new agents joining real estate, getting their license in the year, and we're hoping to get 1 or 2 of those 3." So that is super hyper local, even though he's very successful. And actually, his brokerage was very successful financially too, which is unusual because most don't make money. Most, they're called brokers for a reason. But he was actually making money, but he couldn't grow beyond his current agent count by only maybe 1 or 2, and then one would leave, right? They would retire or whatever. So here's the rub. You're hyper local. You can't grow. And yet at EXP, we're global. And I don't know about you, Andre, but I have agents in, I think it's 11 countries around the world right now that are part of my organization. And so I'm not hyper local, I'm hyper global.
Right.
And that would be the difference maker. And even the former brokerage that I was at, at their peak, and they were awesome. When I moved my company over, they just kept growing and growing. And they've been in business for 50 years. Get this, 50 years.
Wow.
And they grew their brokerage to 250 agents, which is pretty impressive. But, tougher markets, more competitive brokerage models, more this, more that. They have now shrunk to under 100 agents.
Oh, wow. So
they grew to 50, now they're back to 100. And that was over 50 years. I know that you have well over 1,000 agents in your organization in 4 years.
Right.
Think about that. Think about that. I'm in the same place. I've been here about 4 years. Again, just blowing the opportunity that brokerage had out of the water by EXP and what it's allowed me to do. And really, when you think of owning a brokerage, why do you own a brokerage? most of us own a brokerage because we want to serve, help, educate, elevate, and level up people to be super successful. I mean, that's
Right.
why we do it. We want to help people be super successful. But then along the way, owning a brokerage gives you some other things that you have to deal with. The things you don't like. It's behind the office door. It's behind the curtain. It's the trust accounts. It's managing the money. It's the leases. It's the HR. It's the risk, the liability, all of that stuff, which we just say, well, I guess that's part of the program. But guess what? At EXP, you can have all the benefits of owning a brokerage, which is the relationships and leveling up agents. And you give the things that you don't like about a brokerage, the risk, the liability, all over to EXP. And you just basically put your brokerage on this amazing platform and allow it to grow. It's the best of everything.
I couldn't have said it any better myself, Randy. That's a great analogy because you kind of get your cake and eat it too, because you're able to do the things that you enjoy doing and then just place that on top of the EXP operations, and they get to deal with all the stuff that's not so fun to deal with, and we can thrive in the stuff that we enjoy doing and helping people grow.
Absolutely.
What are the things, just a couple of things that you guys are doing yourself locally in your marketplace for your agents that's really helping you, be, well, I think you told me number 2 in your entire area, correct?
Correct. Out of 5,000 agents.
Yeah, that's a big deal. What are a couple of things that you guys are doing that's making that happen?
Well, it's in your head, or priceless, passionate prospecting, I think, is a really important piece to what we do. We all want referral business. We all want repeat business. And, if we redefine prospecting, in a really, really good market, and we're struggling in our market right now. We have a tough market right now. Our sales volume is down more than 50% from, the highs that we had a year and a half ago. So it's challenging. So it's really about past and present and referral business is where it is at. And, if we redefine prospecting, so often we think we've got to really hunt for the business. If I could use the analogy, the hunter chasing the animal for the kill, so to speak. And a wild animal, what does it do when it's being hunted? It runs for its life, right?
Right.
So why do we expect clients to just roll over and say, okay, take me? They're going to run for their lives when they feel like they're being hunted as well. So let's define the client that we want. We want past and referral and people that we've done business with before. So I've put into place, this is years ago already, what I call priceless passion prospecting. And what it means is, you have to be passionate about something. And we're all passionate about whatever it is. Right. But if we think of business, what are we really, really passionate about? Well, I love kite surfing. I'm a kite surfer. The next person says, I'm a coffee connoisseur. Next person says, I love to be part of a hot rod club, or I like to be part of a chamber of commerce, or some sort of a builders association, whatever it is, whatever you're passionate about. Know what your passions are. And it's kind of part of your why as well, but know what you're passionate about. Then go to those businesses, those clubs, and get involved. But this is probably the easiest way. You're working a neighborhood, you have a farm area, you knock on the doors in that farm, you send out, whether it be postcards or mail outs, or you've just worked that farm in geo farming, whatever it may be. Go to businesses that you're passionate about, that you love to go to, and go to the business owner and say to that business owner, hey, tell me about your business. Because you're interested in them and their business. Tell me about your business. How do you prospect? How do you get your business? How is business? And business owners will open up to you, especially if you come with a business mindset and a business heart and a business passion. And along the way, you'll find out how they're doing and how they're prospecting. And then I would introduce this. Hey, would you be open to me helping you with your prospecting, with your business? And what are they going to say? Of course, but how can you help me? Well, you must have either a discount coupon, or we could make up a coupon that I could then not only knock on the 500 doors behind your business here and deliver the coupon for, buy one coffee, get a second coffee free, or the muffler shop that gives you a 10% discount when you go get a muffler or shocks or whatever. But I'm knocking on 500 doors a week, and I'd love to be an ambassador, your advocate for your business. If you would give me a coupon, and if you don't have one, I can create one. I'll get my marketing team to create one. You approve it, and then I've got it to pass out to others. And by the way, I have a database of 10,000, contacts that love and like me, and I also have a database of a few 100,000 that think I'm hunting them. Would you mind if I sent that to them as well?
Right.
What are they going to say? They're going to say, absolutely, please do that. So this is really something that I'm passionate about. Although it's priceless, I'm now serving this client, and the law of reciprocity, or this business owner, the law of reciprocity is going to force that business owner to say, gosh, how do I help Randy, or how do I help that agent? And they're going to start sending me referral business.
Yeah.
And so I do this. And when you're door knocking or you're giving something to somebody for free, right away, the wall keeps coming down and down and down. So if I'm knocking on doors with this coupon from that muffler shop, the coffee business, the clothing store, the restaurant that I love to go to, the moment I say, I'm Randy from the Eximus Real Estate Team. And by the way, I'm helping out a good friend of mine. He's got an amazing business just around the corner from you. You probably heard of it. It's, fine coffee and tea or whatever it is. And he's been so kind to give me a coupon to give to you for 2-for-1 coffee. Would you like it? What are they going to say?
Right.
The door actually starts to open up rather than just a crack, and the wall keeps coming down. And through that process, I can start to build actually a relationship outside of, I'm here to sell your house.
Right.
So I'm not looking like a hunter. I don't have a gun in my hand. I have a beautiful coupon. And so I continue to do that week or every 2 weeks with another business, well, those businesses are starting to refer business to me.
Right.
And these people now that I'm door knocking are going, oh, here comes Randy with another coupon. I love this guy. And by the way, after 2 or 3 times, I could say, by the way, I do have a buyer for your neighborhood. Do you know if any of your neighbors, not you, I don't ask the person at the door, do you know anybody in your neighborhood that is thinking of selling? I've got a buyer for your neighborhood. So if you come across a seller, I'd really appreciate if you could help me with that. Just point them out to me or let me know, or have them reach out to me if that's easier for you. See, none of this is hunting.
Right.
Now I'm asking them to seek me out. And Priceless, it doesn't cost me very much money. I'm passionate about it. So you have passionate people coming together. The moment you bring passion into it, everybody wants to help one another. And it's prospecting. That's so easy. It's not work.
Well, that's phenomenal, guys. You just heard it from one of the top agents in all of his area in Vancouver. Priceless passion prospecting. I love it. You got some really we gave some gold nuggets there, Randy. So I really appreciate that. I like it a lot. Thanks for kind of sharing, because anyone can do that, right? They don't. It's not a lot of money. It's just caring for the other businesses and getting the word out. And you said it was like the third time that you go to the same door over time, giving them free coupons. Is that's when you ask if they know of anyone?
Well, it depends on the conversation, right?
Okay.
Like every conversation is different. So it really depends. But, I developed this because I was having agents on my team struggling with doing prospecting, because they're asking for the business, they're hunting, and they weren't very good at hunt. First of all, you got to be a good hunter to hunt.
Right.
And they were lousy hunters, and they just couldn't get past themselves. So I thought, well, how do I help them get past themselves? Well, giving. So first of all, giving makes us feel really good.
Right.
Like, I don't know about you, but anytime I give somebody something, I go, man, I feel good now. So it gave them this little, spring in their step, and it gave them something of value to give rather than asking. And when you give, you just in turn will receive eventually.
Right.
So that's why I developed this what I call P3. In my office, I just call it P3, Priceless Passion Prospecting. Now, this works great in clubs too. I always say to people, join the most expensive club that you're passionate about. So if that's hot rodding, go join a hot rod club, because anybody that's in that club has spent a lot of money to build a hot rod, and they're passionate about their hot rod. And so instantly there's this connection, and people start doing business with people they feel like
Right.
they connect with.
Right.
For me, I love investing in real estate. So I joined an investment club, and then of course you have to have a strategy behind it. So immediately when I joined that, I just started connecting with the people that were organizing it and giving them value, giving them stats on the market and sharing with them, where the market's going. And then all of a sudden one day, which I knew would happen, they said, "Can you present that from stage?"
Right.
Probably could. So now I was in front of 300 investors sharing about the market. And by the time I got back to my speaker table, the back, I had a lineup of about 75 people wanting my card.
Oh, wow.
So I just kept fostering and working that. Many years I'd sell 50 to 60 properties from that real estate investment network. It was an investment club. I'd sell 50, 60 homes through that club. It wasn't cheap. It wasn't expensive. It was $2,500 a year to be part of this club. But to me, that was the best $2,500 I ever spent. In fact, you probably know this, Mar-a-Lago, which is Donald Trump's White House South. I was at Mar-a-Lago taking a tour about 8 or 9 years ago. And at that time, the membership was $150,000. And I remember pulling up, and our tour guide said, "By the way, the membership's $150,000. I think the membership's now about $350,000, $400,000,
Wow.
even $500,000. But at that time, I went, I'll pay that. I'm in. If I'm rubbing shoulders with other people that spent $150,000 to be in this room, I'm in the right room with the right people at the right time. I'm going to do some business. And I'm going to sell some big, bad, good-looking properties."
That's right. Proximity to other high-level people is priceless.
It is.
That's awesome. Well, man, you've really given some gold nuggets today, Randy. Any last closing things you'd like to share about your EXP venture or anything before we kind of close out?
Well, I found my way, so to speak, after 27 years with a company that recognizes the value that I have as a person, not as an agent, secondary as an agent. So first a person, then an agent. And so I'd really encourage you to think about EXP. I'd really encourage you to jump on to my podcast and check it out, Return on Life, because it's all about how I have received return on life since joining this amazing company called EXP, and how I'm finding others that are getting return on life versus the return on investment. Yes, we need the ROI, but we also need the ROI, because Randy that works too much and is just busy making money becomes a very boring person. Remember this, you got to get more out of life than just money. So check out my podcast, Return on Life.
Awesome. What day and time is your podcast?
We drop it on Wednesdays.
Wednesdays as well? All right,
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, we'll have to check it out. My very last question I always ask people before leaving, if you have a favorite book, if you're a big reader, or a favorite movie, if you're a movie watcher, or what would you like to recommend to our listeners today?
Well, a book that I've just recently finished is Who Not How by Benjamin Hardy. And I think it's really important to realize that, and it took me time to figure this out. It took me a long time to figure this out, that I couldn't always figure out the how. And so by reading this book, who, not how. I've brought a lot of who's back into my life that were part of my life like 10, 12, 15 years ago. And I'm bringing them back in because they bring so much value. So I'd really recommend reading that book, Who, Not How.
All right, fantastic. Hey, thanks, Randy, for being on our Financial Freedom Forever podcast today. We'll see you on our next influencer Zoom that we jump on every week, and we'll see you at one of the next live events. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Andre. Appreciate the invite.
All right. Thanks, Randy. Bye-bye. Listen to what our business partners are saying about our FFF group.
I love FFF, Financial Freedom Forever, is helping you to grow, all support and coaching and training me and my family. Now we have more time to spend together and make more money.
Competition is good, but collaboration is better. You know, the one thing that I really love about this group and this community is that an abundance mindset, always looking to add value. It's really clear that this organization is pouring in as we have the best agents, not only in the US, but all over the globe.
I believe if you surround yourself with like-minded people that are doing 10, 15, 20 times more than me and you put together, we all bring each other up and bring our businesses to the next level and our lives. To learn more about how to partner with us, go to partnerwithandre.com or click the link below. And let's have a conversation.